Hi, Amiyah. This is your reading buddy, Bob, again. Well, I guess I lied because I enjoy reading with you so much. And because there's only one more story in level G, I decided we should read one more story. Hopefully, you can follow along with the pictures and follow my cursor and read along with the words as we read Weird. Weird, that means something strange or unusual. I'm not sure what's going to be weird in this story. It looks like there's a girl next to a path with some flowers in her hair and in her hand. But we will read Weird, written by, of course, Anne Harth. Annie sat in the park. Presumably that's Annie. She wore a bright red hat. There's her hat. She wore flowers in her hair. We have flowers there. Butterflies flitted around her. Well, there's some butterflies around her flying. Look, Mark said to Tracy. That must be Mark and Tracy. There's Annie. She's weird. Do you think Annie is strange because she likes to run around and has flowers in her hair and butterflies following her? No, she's not. She looks beautiful. Think that's Tracy saying she's not weird? Tracy wished that she had a red hat and flowers too. She thinks they look pretty on Annie, huh? At school, Annie sat alone. Well, that's sad. Doesn't she have friends to eat with? Do you eat with your friends at school? She ate her lunch and sang happy songs. Well, she's not sad, she's happy. Tracy listened. Mark walked by. Why doesn't Mark want to sit with her? Now do you think Annie's weird? He whispered to Tracy. No, Tracy said. She made those songs up herself. Tracy loved to sing, but she only sang when she was alone. Why do you think that is? Is she afraid that she wouldn't sound good enough and her friends would make fun of her? Sometimes that makes you do things all by yourself so nobody will make fun of you. Annie waited at the bus stop. She twirled in circles like a ballerina. She hopped. She skipped. She danced. Mark and Tracy waited for the bus too. Now you have to think Annie's weird, Mark said. She's dancing all by herself. That's unusual, but it doesn't make her weird or strange. She can have fun and be happy all alone. There's nothing wrong with that, Tracy said. She's having fun. She felt like dancing too. The bus came. Annie jumped on. She sat in the back seat, and Mark sat in front. Mark doesn't want to sit near Annie, huh? Tracy got on last. She walked to the back of the bus. That was very nice of her. Why do you think she's going to the back? Do you think maybe she's going to sit with Annie and find out how she does all the things she does that make her happy? I think Tracy wants to do all those things too. Hi, Annie, Tracy said. Can I sit with you? Annie scooted over. Does that mean yes? I think she made room for Tracy to sit with her. Tracy and Annie talked and laughed all the way home. That was nice of Tracy to come sit by Annie. And when she did, it sounds like she made a new friend and they had fun. Do you want to go to the park tomorrow? Tracy asked. Yes, said Annie, but don't forget your umbrella. That's kind of neat that Tracy didn't listen to her friend who said that Annie was weird, but made friends with her and now invited her to the park to play. They're having fun. Tracy looked at the clear sky. Is it going to rain? Annie looked up, too. No, it's going to be sunny, she said. If it's going to be sunny, why did Annie say bring an umbrella? Maybe there are fun things to do with an umbrella even when it's not raining. Even though it's unusual, it might be fun. She's not afraid of doing fun things even if other people think she's weird. Annie was right. The next day was sunny, but Tracy took her yellow umbrella anyway. When she got to the park, she was very hot. Annie was already there. So what can an umbrella do on a hot, sunny day? It can make some cool shade for them to sit in, huh? I'm hot, Tracy said. Me too, said Annie, as she put up her umbrella. She held it over her head. But it's cool under here. Tracy laughed. She put up her umbrella. I'm in the shade too. Why do you think she laughed? She was surprised about Annie's neat way of using her umbrella to keep cool on a hot day. She did it, and she liked it too. Mark walked past. Umbrellas? Now both of you are weird. No, we're not, Tracy said as she looked at Mark. His face was red. Why do you think he was red? Probably because it's a hot day. He looked hot. We're both in the shade, Tracy said. Want to come over? Maybe Mark was wrong, and being weird is sometimes fun and good. Mark wiped his face. Okay, he said. He sat between Tracy and Annie. They all sat in the shade under the umbrellas. Maybe being a little different isn't all bad, huh? Thanks. Now I feel cool, said Mark. He looked at Tracy and Annie. Maybe you're not that weird after all, he said with a smile. He finally realized that he shouldn't judge them for how they looked different, but should enjoy the fun that they were all having together. Here are the comprehension questions. Where does Tracy first talk to Annie? You remember where they first met? Where they first talked in the story? Annie sat in the park wearing her hat and flowers. Look, Mark said to Tracy, there's Annie. That's where they first saw her. They also saw her in the school lunchroom. They also saw her at the bus stop. But she first talked to her when she came back to sit with her on the bus. So where does Tracy first talk to Annie? In the back of the bus. What does Mark see Annie do? Well, he calls her weird a lot of times. First, sitting in the park wearing a bright hat with flowers and butterflies sitting around her. Mark said she's weird. Then at school, he saw her sitting alone, eating her lunch and singing songs. Then he saw her at the bus stop, twirling, hopping, skipping, and dancing. Then he saw her in the back of the bus. And then Mark walked past when they were in the park with their umbrellas. Why does Annie bring an umbrella to the park when it wasn't supposed to rain? Do you remember? When they were hot, Annie put up her umbrella and held it over her head because it's cool under here in the shade. Have you ever seen people at the beach with umbrellas? They put it up to keep the sun off of them. What do you think will happen next? After Mark said thanks, he felt cool. He said, maybe you're not that weird after all, he said with a smile. Maybe he'll be friends with Annie too and have fun with her. That is the end of the comprehension questions and the end of our reading for this year. I hope you keep on reading. You're a great reader and enthusiastic. I hope you find some good books to read over the summer. Bye-bye.